Hello, assalamu alaikum everybody. Hope you're all safe, sound, and healthy. And I'm back because a few things that have been going on need to be discussed a bit and need to be pointed out because these are developments nonetheless. One, as we know, is that the PTI government is in KPK, right? And we've still got a hodgepodge of illegal members taking illegal oaths and sitting illegally in the seats in Punjab Assembly. And the thing here is that first of all, if you remember, um, we had the health card scheme. The health card was started by Imran Khan, as we know, and that was one of the first things that Maryam Nawaz made the caretaker government to close down. Apart from the, let me also tell you this, that apart from the PM citizens portal, if you remember the citizens portal, where you could just lodge any complaint against any government organization that was not doing their job, and the prime minister would directly take a look at it and do something about it. So that was one of the first things that they closed down, as we know. That was Shehbaz Sharif who closed it down as soon as he became acting prime minister the first time round, after ousting the legitimate government. And then the second thing, as we know, is that they closed down the shelters, they closed down the langar khanas, they closed down the old age homes, they closed down every welfare related institute or building, and they closed down the health card. So the health card is back in KPK in full swing. Not only is it back with its, original 10 lakh per family, budget, but it also has given an added 50 lakh. Yes, an added 50 lakh towards liver and kidney transplantations. So basically, those in need of liver or kidney transplants and cannot afford it, well, they don't need to worry about that anymore because this much money has been put into state life towards this purpose. So basically, the public of KPK is sorted, okay, totally, where healthcare is concerned. Now, at the same time, there is this other narrative or scenario that is being prepared by the US imported government, by the establishment, basically, the army, wherein they've claimed to have caught three terrorists. I'm sure everybody's heard that on the news. It's really weird. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's noticed this, and I'm not the only one who's asked these questions. What exactly and were those three so-called Afghan terrorists doing in an abandoned building right next to Adiala jail? Yeah, for crying out loud, do you seriously think we're fools? Like, oh, they just happened to decide that they should reside in an abandoned place and they happened to have the map of Adiala jail, and you happened to have been so lucky enough to have caught them. You planted them. The Pakistani establishment planted them, and then they made this whole spectacle of it. They made the whole drama. They just basically set up a stage and had a few actors exiting stage left, entering stage right. So pretending as if that, so it means that basically, in other words, what they've told us is that this is one of the now future stories that they're thinking. So because Imran Khan is still their target, American government being under pressure by its own senators in its own local council people, the fact that the American government is also having election year and they cannot they can't really, they're stuck. And they're stuck mainly because of Palestine, because of the exposure regarding Palestine and then the added exposure of their interference in Pakistan. So, they are stuck and they want to pretend that they have nothing to do with it, but they couldn't pretend anymore because it was all out, it was exposed. And now they are basically under pressure and they want to just get rid of Imran Khan again, right? So yeah, so this is basically the setup. This is not the setup. So this is the coming story that they're thinking of, bringing out in case they do manage to successfully assassinate Imran Khan. And that is why, and as I said, it's not just lost on me, it's not lost on anyone, because the PTI workers in return, the PTI members, they have in return issued a very, very strong statement, a very strong warning to the Pakistani army, the establishment, and the illegal government, saying that if anything happens to Imran Khan, then you will be held responsible. There will be no debate there. So that also has been, set up where PTI is concerned. And then there are rumors about Bushra Bibi, Imran Khan's wife, allegedly, to have she seems to be having the similar symptoms to food poisoning. She's vomiting and having diarrhea and all. So again, there are rumors being spread that once again they've probably tried to poison her. But as of yet, there's nothing concrete. And, so basically, we have these two plots put forward, okay? We have the medical health care in KPK sorted. We've got the Ramzan ration scheme, which is the SAS scheme, which was again started by PTI, in which they go door to door and they give the rations to the people. And Maryam Nawaz is using our tax money. As always, it's our tax money that's used for this ration scheme. But look at the gall of the woman, that she's actually saying that the government is spending 2,000 rupees out of its own pocket. 2,000 rupees, my ass. Out of your pocket, my bigger ass. Okay? There is no 2,000 rupees out of your pocket. There is lots of money out of our pocket, and we don't know how much of that is actually going to be used towards provision of said ration to poor people, and how much of that is actually going to be pocketed. Okay, so here's the difference there. Plus, you're using our hard earned money, our tax money, to print a picture of your father on the sacks of goods that you want to give to the people, whereas the PTI government has never done such stupid, ridiculous things in their life. And even the KPK government is not going to do that, because they all know it's our money. You're using our money to provide for our people. Okay? Nothing is going out of your pocket. How dare you stamp your father's face on that sack of flour, you know? And how dare you claim that you're spending 2,000 from your own pocket? First of all, what's the value of 2,000 per person or even per family? What's the value of 2,000? Just explain that to us for an instant. So this is where we are at the moment. And again, let me tell you one thing. The reason why they are blatantly, shamelessly doing whatever it is that they're doing, the reason why they are still targeting Imran Khan, the reason why they're still creating and setting up scenarios of future assassination plots, is because of our history. Our history, we have a long history of silence in the face of blatant treasonous activities against our own national leaders. From the Jinnah siblings to Liaquat Ali Khan to Bhutto to Benazir, do you honestly think they fear us? I mean, what have we ever done to them? Every single time they killed somebody who was dear to us, every single time they killed somebody who was a patriot, every single time America used our traitors to kill our national leaders, where were we? What did we do? Yeah, this is why. This is why they're so blatant, because they've been getting away with it for almost 70 years, for crying out loud, and they believe that they will continue to get away with it. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they do again, because again, we have a long history of staying silent. What is it? We erupt for 2 to 3 days, we protest for a week max, and then, okay, we get on with our lives. None of us have actually taken them and killed them. None of us have actually shot them. None of us have actually hanged them. None of us have actually put the Article 6, which is treason, on them. Why? And Maryam is all she's doing. So on one side, you've got KPK government once again proving themselves, learning from their past mistakes, making things better, working for public welfare as always. On the other side, you've got Maryam Nawaz using our money, spending our money to do photo shoots. In fact, you know what? I think that Maryam Nawaz should really go and do a DNA test. I'm wondering if she's actually Shehbaz Sharif's daughter, because this is Showbaz. This screams Showbaz. From A to Z. He was the one who was always going around, creating this. These photo shoots where he would stand with his boots and his hats and his glasses, and she's doing the same. She's just modeling. She's spending our money on modeling and doing photo shoots and doing jack shit. That's all she's doing. So Yeah, I mean, here we are, as I said. Um, there are ongoing protests, obviously, throughout Pakistan, and there is another call for a protest on Sunday. A nationwide protest is again called for on Sunday, and this time I think they are thinking of even forming a grand alliance. A grand alliance being of all the parties that fell victim to rigging, and even those that did not fall victim but are, right now totally against whatever is going on, because now they've realized the impact, the impact of breaking down your constitution. So anything that is going against the constitution and that is directly breaking down the what little illusion of sovereignty Pakistan does have, so they finally got it, that this is damaging, and so they're all getting together for this protest now. Here's another thing you need to understand is that one of the reasons why in Punjab the protests are just increasing, is because, I mean, not only are the people being disturbed because of the bills, the humongous bills that we're getting for gas. I mean, this is something I've talked about before, that gas is something that we are, the country is rich in gas reserves. We have 200 years worth of gas reserves. What the hell are they doing with it? You will never see any gas bill more than 2 to 300 rupees, and now suddenly people are getting 18, 20, 60, 80,000 rupees of gas bills. I mean, what the hell, and that is not, again, the only reason. The reason being that, actually, can you imagine that out of the 44 seats in in central Punjab, understand this, and the north of Punjab, basically they have won all the seats, okay, 100%. They've won 100% of the seats. There's not a single seat that they lost. When you talk about central Punjab, then they won 40 out of 44 seats, okay, and 12 seats were won from Lahore alone and 4 from Sialkot. Okay, so out of the 44 seats of Central Punjab, PTI won 40 seats. Okay, and they're deprived of that. Okay, those 40 seats were stolen. All 40 seats are stolen from them. Okay, all of the 100% seats of the Northern Punjab is stolen from them. Now, these are figures that have been verified and quoted by Kashif Abbasi on his show. Okay, and he quoted in turn another bureaucrat, so this is a bureaucrat who gave him inside information about all of this, right? And when you look at all of that, you think that, what the hell, I mean, this proves PTI's claims that they had all but one Punjab assembly with almost 100%, because it's not just 2/3 majority, it's more like 3/4 majority, it's more like 95%, in fact, even, of the seats of Punjab, which are supposed to be with PTI. Forget those seats. As I've said before, they're not even being given honorary seats. Okay, so there is that also that needs to be looked into. And as we know, the presidential elections are coming soon, although they are delaying that as well, because they want to make sure that if they put Zardari up as a president, they should put him up with a respectable number of votes and not a shameful number of votes, just for, appearance sake, again, for optics. So this also is, going to be a very interesting development whenever it happens. But Latif Kosa has made it clear that we are not going to do any deals. There are going to be no deals, no negotiations. You either return the mandate back to the rightful owners, or we will not allow the government to work. He said it as simply as that the assembly will not be allowed to work. So in short, he's probably thinking, or he's probably saying, that we will paralyze the institution. Well, kudos to you. I've been talking about paralysis for like a very long time, that we need to paralyze them. But okay, finally somebody's also on board. And now, there's one thing that once again, I would have to disagree with Mohit Pirzada on the Indian government principle that he was saying. He was saying that the Indian government deals with Pakistan government based on a principle that they wouldn't deal with illegitimate governments and they wouldn't deal with those that are army puppets, and that he felt that maybe the reason why they were so close to Nawaz Sharif is because that Nawaz Sharif was thought of as an independent politician with a mind of his own, and the reason why they had a problem with Imran Khan is that they had the misconception that Imran Khan was the army's poster boy. Yeah, first of all, I don't think India is so stupid as to not know who's the poster boy when the whole world knows that Nawaz Sharif is the poster boy of Pakistan army. Always was, always will be. Imran Khan never was, never will be. Okay, yeah, I disagree with Mohit Pirzada here. I don't think India's government has ever worked on anything based on any principle, to be honest. And as I've said before, I think India is extremely stupid because India is still working with America and Britain and the Western allies, based on the premises that the age old promise that Pakistan would never be a sovereign state and that Pakistan would ultimately always be under India's, as an autonomous body, and that, Pakistan would be a buffer state and, blah, blah, blah. And even now it's based on that premise, that Pakistan will be returned to be, it will be returned to India's control, which will never happen. This is why India is stupid. It will never happen. Once America, America is just showing India some sweet dreams, is just giving them illusions and delusions. But the truth is that India in itself is going to suffer in the long run, and it already is suffering. See, Modi's government is by far, it is probably the worst, most unaccepted government in India. It's not accepted by the public. It's not accepted by even the government bodies themselves. Modi he himself is not accepted. After all, he was the person behind the Gujarat genocide. He is a mass murderer. He is not liked. He is an extremist, and he's a terrorist. The amount of terrorism, the amount of religious incidents that have occurred in India and during his tenure, it's just, you can't even argue with that. And what he's doing in Kashmir is exactly what Israel has taught him to do. What Israel is doing in Palestine, the exact same steps are being taken against the Kashmiris in occupied Kashmir. So yeah, there's no matter of principle here, unless I think maybe Mohit Pizarda is just being very, diplomatic in his words. I don't know, because I cannot believe that Mohit Pirzada actually believes in that, because this is so obviously not true. India has never worked with Pakistan based on principle. Pakistan has always tried to work with India based on principle. India has never worked with Pakistan based on principle. In fact, the Indians have very openly said it, that they have invested in Nawaz Sharif. How can you invest in a legitimate political leader of another country? You cannot. If you're investing in a political body or a political member of a political body, or if you're investing in a prime minister of another country, it means you have got yourself a traitor. It's as simple as that. You've got yourself an asset. Okay, so that country's traitor, your asset. That is what investing in somebody means. So they've very openly said that we have invested in Nawaz Sharif. That means that Nawaz Sharif was their golden goose. He was the traitor of the century. He was the one with whom Modi had personal ties and business ties, obviously because Nawaz Sharif was never thought of as an independent political leader of Pakistan. Okay, the reason why they wouldn't work with Imran Khan is because they wanted Nawaz Sharif back. They wanted to be able to control Pakistan. They wanted to be able to make Pakistan into another Bangladesh. And Nawaz Sharif was all too ready for that. Imran Khan was not ready for that. Okay, and they knew it. They knew that if they accepted Imran Khan's gesture of negotiations and friendship, they were the ones who were going to lose. Because, first of all, he would tell them to resolve the Kashmir issue. He would tell them to back off. He would tell them to respect the UN resolution concerning Kashmir. So all those plans and conspiracies that Modi has been, working on with his Western allies, they would have gone down deep down the rabbit hole, straight to hell. Okay, so that is why his government was not ready to work with Imran Khan. They will be all too ready to work with this government. Okay, why? Because this government is more or less closest to their so-called principles, which is to keep control of all the traitors, to use them against Pakistan. Okay, so I'm sorry, but the Indian government principle is not a principle, but just plain two-faced hypocrisy. Okay, they are not interested in any legitimate government, just as they weren't interested in a legitimate government in Bangladesh. What they have done in Bangladesh is what they want to do in Pakistan. Again, keep that in mind. And that is why they are so readily working with America and Britain to undermine Pakistan, to undermine Pakistan's legitimate government. Okay, so yeah, I mean, seriously, if you remember, I've mentioned that so many times in so many different ways in my previous podcasts regarding the Western establishment's plans, the fruition of those plans that we are seeing today. Every single thing that I talked about why the UNO was actually created, about how colonization was never actually out. Nobody actually in their minds were leaving those colonies, but they were just leaving people within those colonies after pretending to free those colonies. None of those colonies are sovereign states, okay, including India. So India also needs to clear that earwax, okay, because India is also not a sovereign state as far as the British and the Americans are concerned, okay. So basically, every plan that I talked about, that they were working for at least over a century towards this plan bearing fruit. And as you can see, even as we speak, it's bearing fruit. What's happening in Palestine, what's happening in Kashmir, what's happened in Syria, what's happened in Libya, what's happened in Egypt, what's happened in the Middle East, the Gulf Wars, and then again right now what's happening in Pakistan. Every single incident, every single war, every single civil unrest, every single destruction of every single country that you can see around you is all part of that plan. And we can see it happening as we speak, right? So, yeah, this is all about keeping your colonies and keeping control over your colonies. And that insane mindset of where they think that they're gods, and so they have the right to control the whole world and its people. And so the lesser people, the better. It's weird, but it's a fact. It's so weird. Sometimes, actually, the truth is stranger than fiction, as we know and as we can see. So, yeah, do not expect them to buckle under pressure. Okay, the American government here. I'm talking about the American government. Do not expect them to buckle under pressure. Okay, Pakistanis will have to take over control themselves in order to break this conspiracy. And I will repeat it again, we are way past doing it the peaceful way. And if I say we're way past it, believe me, we are way past it, because this is me. I'm the person who's always quiet and always observing and always thinking about how to patiently run the long game. But I can tell you, there is no long game here right now. Right now, there is only one game, and that is the bloody game. We have to kill the pigs. I'm sorry, but there is no other way. And the problem with Pakistanis is they have never killed the pigs. They have never actually fought for anything. Everything was literally served to them on a platter. You need to get off your asses and learn to fight for yourselves, because nobody's going to fight for you. The people who do try to come out and fight for you, you can see what's happened to them. See what happened to the Jinnah siblings. See what happened to Liaquat Ali Khan. See what happened to Bhutto. See what happened to Benazir when she finally decided to do something for her country, as opposed to her, comrades, her Western allies, okay? And then what's happening to Imran Khan right now? Keep all of that in mind, okay? We are already almost a century too late. Jinnah had already sensed, he knew exactly what the British were up to. He knew that they would never want Pakistan to be a sovereign state, and that is why he worked so fast overnight to turn the country into a sovereign state. But just before he could completely eradicate, that woodworm came out and bit him. Yes, the Pakistani army, the traitors in our midst, they came out and they bit him. So we need to now bite back. We need to understand that right now, offense is the best defense. There's no other way. And this is me signing out. Khuda Hafiz.